Welcome to On the Square with Councilman Kurt Johnson. This episode, we're going to focus on Black History Month in regards to the melanated people. Our guests today, we have Councilwoman Bessie Adams and Mr. Richard Renard, the voice of DFW. Before we start speaking to the guests, I'd like to give you a little history about Black History Month. Black History Month began with the vision of historian Carter G. Woodson, who in 1926 launched Negro History Week to recognize the contributions of African Americans. He chose the second week of February to honor the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln, two key figures in Black history. Over time, awareness grew, and in 1976, the U.S. Bicentennial, President Gerald Ford officially expanded it to Black History Month and urged Americans to honor the too often overlooked achievements of Black individuals. A key milestone in this expansion came from Kent State University, where Black educators and students first proposed celebrated Black History Month in 1970, 6 years before it became nationally recognized. Their efforts laid the groundwork for a broader, more permanent acknowledgement of Black contributions to history. As I said earlier, I was around in the sixth grade and during the bicentennial year, so it was very important for me to focus on 1976 to 1876. If you really think about it, that's only 100 years. 100 years. And slavery was abolished in 1863, and then Texas was freed in 1865. That's about a little over 100 years. So it wasn't that long ago. Today, Black History Month is a time for reflection, education, and celebration, not just of past struggles, but of ongoing contributions to culture, science, politics, and beyond. It reminds us that the Black history is American history, and its lessons continue to shape present and future endeavors. I'd like to talk about the word Black, the etymology. When you go back and look up the etymology of the word, origin of a word, the way it was used way back then, you will see over time how the meaning of a word may have changed. The Proto-Indo-Europeans pronounced the word as bah, B-H-E-L, which meant to shine or burn. Black was once connected to brightness. This is because early people associated fire and burning with both light and transformation. So you consider wood burning. There's a flame and there's blackness on the wood. But over time that changed. It took away from something that was bright, that they considered bright, to darkness. The last word I'd like to talk about is the term melanated people. It generally refers to individuals with higher levels of melanin, the natural pigment responsible for skin, hair, and eye color. Melanin provides protection from UV radiation and is more abundant in people of African indigenous. Now we're going to talk about what is indigenous. That's a word you need to look up, and indigenous to which part of the land. Also South Asian, Pacific Islanders, and other non-European ancestries. Historically, the terms have been embraced in Afrocentric and Pan-African communities as a way to highlight the beauty, resilience, and shaped heritage of people of African descent and other dark-skinned populations. With that being said, I'd like to get started with the show. Welcome to the show, Councilwoman Bessie Adams.
Thank you, Councilmember Kurt Johnson. It's a pleasure to be on your show. We're honored to be here.
Thank you there, Mr. Renard. Raynor.
I definitely appreciate you as well, Councilman Johnson, for the invite to come and discuss this phenomenal set of events that we have coming up in February.
I appreciate that. Councilwoman Adams, tell us what you guys have been up to as far as planning events for the month of February for us.
Well, we've been up to a lot. Yeah. We have an amazing committee that was formed. Our city manager, Bill Hill, along with our mayor, wanted to put something together for Black History Month. And so Mr. Hill rounded up a couple of us and said, hey, this is the committee, let's get started. And so honestly, we didn't start till like the middle of December. And so we've been working through the Christmas holidays and just fast and furious to get things together. But I think we've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, man.
What you share with me, I think you guys have done an awesome job. I'm sure the people are going to be surprised what you guys were able to accomplish in a short period of time. Mr. Rayner, do you have anything to add?
Well, I just definitely want to thank Councilman Adams. She added me to the committee to join and assist in all these efforts. And one of the things that we're attempting to do is to just make sure that everyone understands that our history should not be a mystery.
That's right. I appreciate that. Well, Ms. Adams, February 1st is tomorrow. Anything going on?
Yes, a lot. Okay, so we are kicking off the month with a masquerade margarita mixer that's held by the Sisters of Sarai. This is the 7th annual scholarship fundraiser, and the purpose is to raise money to give scholarships to our up-and-coming seniors and college students. Then we got a boatload of things that's happening after we skip the Super Bowl weekend. So we did not want to compete with Super Bowl, and so
Okay.
our next weekend will be the 15th. Okay, so the third weekend we have a theme of Black love, and so that's love for relationships, love for self, and love for your family. So we start off on Valentine's Day night. We have Mr. Latarius Whitfield. You should know his name from Dear Future Wifey podcast. Well-known gentleman, have some great people, whether they're single or couples. I almost said all couples, but he just interviewed a vast amount of people. So he's going to be hosting the night for us. That is a ticketed event. So go on the website and make sure you get your ticket. The seating is limited. That's going to be at our Summit Ballroom. And so great time. We started out with this event for older, 50 and older, because it was at the Summit. And one of the actual program manager said, "Now, wait a minute, I want to go." And she's like in her probably early 30s. So we had to be generous to all.
Okay.
But that's going to be a great time, and it is open to the public. And I do want to say this before I go into the next portion, is that all of these events are designed to showcase Black excellence, but everyone is welcome. So we want you to come. We want you to experience our culture. So everyone is welcome. So as we leave the 14th, we go into the 15th, and that is Our Health is Our Wealth. We're going to have Mr. Paul Ritter. He is a phenomenal speaker. It's going to be a food demonstration. And I think he'll have his book there where he talks about how he actually healed his mother from high blood pressure and heart disease through healthy eating. And so we'll have some other vendors there. We are anticipating Black Heart Association, Carol's Promise. Sickle cell anemia is still prevalent in melanated people. And so that's going to be a great opportunity on the 16th, which is Saturday. Then rolling into Sunday. Sunday is going to be Family Fun Day because we're going to have an Ebonyopoly challenge. And so I'm going to turn it over to Rashad to tell us a little bit about that.
So on the 16th of February, we have Ebonyopoly Game Day. And I know that you're very familiar with that as well, Kurt, because you had an opportunity to be exposed to Ebonyopoly last year, and you purchased a game yourself. So we definitely appreciate you for your support. But one of the things that we're doing, we are trying to bring families together. Okay, this is an opportunity for people in the Grand Prairie area and surrounding communities to come and join in on something that's never been done before. So Ebonyopoly as itself is a monopoly game based upon African American historical events. And one of the things that we're doing with the owners, they have game days around the nation. They've done them from as far east as New York to west as LA. And now we are going to be in Grand Prairie, and we are going to be hosting the largest Ebonyopoly Game Day event that has occurred. And so we're going to be bringing the owners out. They'll have an opportunity to address the crowd, give a little history about the relevance of the game, how it was founded, and to answer any questions and things like that. And so if you have a family with young children, teenagers, older people, more seasoned, everyone will have an opportunity to come out and enjoy themselves with this game, and hopefully we'll see you there, and hopefully we'll see you there as well, Kurt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Mr. Witter. He nursed his mother back to health, and I was sharing, my mom passed away from cancer, and I used to have to take her to her apartments to have the treatments in high school, and she would ask, "You want to come in?" I don't want to go in there. I always sit in the car. So you think about it, in the 80s, we didn't have any iPads or anything else. You had to listen to the radio and hope you didn't drain the battery so you can get home. Right. The nurses would be so kind to bring her out to the car, and I would just drive her home. So we've made leaps and bounds as far as for healthcare. And I think there was a movement, I think, with Tom Joyner. For men, black men, we don't like going to the doctors, but my friends laugh at me all the time. He got a paper cut, he's going to the doctor. I go and get myself checked out. I still take my annual physicals because I think it's very important to see where you at from one year to the next. And I try to encourage black men to go to the doctor, go get things checked out, but some still don't want to go. Eboniopoly, I believe in that because we need to learn our history. And I'm just going to speak of my experience. When I was in elementary school, seriously, I used to think that, what did we do here? Because the education system was teaching us about two people, Dr. King and Malcolm X. Yeah. They weren't speaking about all the inventions that we've made and how we improved our lives. But when you go way back, just start paying attention to when a city was established, incorporated. Look at when a building was built. And you have to ask yourself, wait a minute. How exactly?
And who?
There you go. So y'all catching on real quick. So when you start looking at things, it doesn't make sense on certain things. But that just means those are things I like looking at to see what year a city was incorporated or when the building was built and who built it. Most recently, when Notre Dame was caught on fire, they had a hard time trying to figure out how to replicate what they had. They brought on the best scientists in, the architects trying to figure this out. Yes. So, and I believe that it didn't take some people no time at all to figure that out when they first initially built it. So I'm going down a rabbit hole.
That's important, and that's why that's why Black History Month is important, and that's why I wanted to use the whole month, because there are so many unknown facts that our children don't even know,
absolutely,
let alone anyone else. And so it's important to embrace your culture, embrace your heritage, no matter where or what it is. And so this is just an opportunity. Grand Prairie, first of all, has a multitude of races, creeds, denominations, all of that good stuff. And I think we've done a really good job of, for the Black community, we have MLK, Prairie. This is one of the first suburbs and few suburbs outside of Dallas that actually have a parade that's been conducted by the NAACP for years.
Decades.
And then we have Juneteenth. Before it became the official holiday. I was talking to Pastor Dixon and Miss Denise Gambrell. They actually started with programming back in 1989. And so that has been a legacy that the city has had regarding Black history. But we just celebrated Lunar New Year. We have Cinco de Mayo. So we are truly a representation or a melting pot of America. And so now it's Black history time to, show some of the things and talk about some of the things that people just don't know. The inventors, you talked about building the city. I thought about my grandfather, who was a 33-degree Mason, and how they would lay those cornerstones and on pretty much all the churches. And so just things like that, that I don't think our kids today really know. So this is an opportunity for them to, learn about it.
Mr. Harrison's, Dr. Angela Lucky Vaughn's father, started back in the 70s. Some of these parades. And if you hear the history, because he spoke to me about how things were in trying to get this stuff started, I have a lot of respect for Mr. Harrison because he went through a lot just to get the history started here. Right.
And as we were talking as a community, we started asking, well, what is the oldest Black church? And most people know St. John because it's one of the prominent churches in our community. And then I started thinking about, well, before Dalworth, there was the Shady Grove area. And so it used to be called Bear Creek, but it got confused because part was in Irving and part was in Grand Prairie. So I think our Bear Creek area is called Shady Grove. And I said, well, that's the Black community before Dalworth.
Right.
And so there's so much history in our own city that we're learning. And then I think we came up with Evening Chapel may have been the oldest church. So that research is going on. And so one of the committee members, Pastor Denny Davis, said we need to capture this. We don't have to keep researching it.
Amen.
We need to capture it and store it for future, generations.
And I think that's why we need to have a history book of Grand Prairie, from Shady Grove to Dalworth to the first slave, Mose Jordan, who came here. We need to have that documented in history. So like you said, if they don't catch this show, they might not ever find out whatever happened. But we need to have it for our children, our grandkids to
Absolutely.
read the history. I don't want to take up too much time because we can speak. I can talk all day about history.
Okay, me
Okay,
too.
we
So
gotta-
let's go to the next weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next weekend, which is the 22nd.
Hold on. You skipped Super Bowl weekend. Why did you do that?
Because I'm not competing with Super Bowl
All right, that's
Sunday.
what I'm talking about.
I do make sure. Now, I tried. Don't get me wrong, we tried. But I thought, that's a good opportunity for family time, friends time. But I do want to say, we talk about Charlie Taylor quite a bit. He's renowned in our African American community
Absolutely.
as in the NFL, pro bowler.
Absolutely.
And
Love the
so,
man. You know why? He was a commander. I'm a
Okay.
Commanders fan.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! But as I was researching, because I was thinking, well, who else? Surely not Charlie Taylor, the only person.
Right.
And so I called my son. He was like, "Yeah, Ma, there's a couple of people that graduated with me and graduated my daughter. So we currently have students from South Grand
South
Prairie
Grand Prairie,
High
that's
that are
right.
playing in the NFL today.
Yes, absolutely.
But I didn't want to interfere with. I didn't want to compete.
Compete, that's right, because no one would have shown
with
up
that.
because
No.
Yeah.
So we skipped that week. Talked to you about the weekend of the 14th, 15th, and 16th.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have the weekend of the 22nd and the 23rd. So the 22nd is our Education to Economics Day. So we're starting with HBCU College Fair. Historically Black college universities, in case you didn't know, HBCU. That's going to be a college fair held with a Black Business Expo. And this is going to be held jointly with another event that's going on in Epic, which is our art and music event. And I thought, how fitting, because, we as a people, bring so much to art and so much to music. And so we have meshed everything together. And so you will see vendors from art to music, as well as our Black businesses. And in the middle of all of that, we're going to have a Greek showcase. So I'm going to pass the mic to Rashad
To
so
the
he can tell
voice
us a
of
little more
VFW.
about the Greek showcase.
So there's one thing that we have to remember. There is excellence in our DNA. But one of the reasons why it's hard to translate into today is because that information is not readily available. Okay? So when she talks about the Greek showcase, we are bringing the Divine Nine together, which is all of the 9 Greek letter organizations, African American Greek letter organizations in the Metroplex. And we are going to put on a showcase. We are also including the Pan-Atlantic Council. The Pan-Atlantic Council is the governing authority over the D9, right?
Okay.
And so this is the first time in Grand Prairie and maybe in the Metroplex that an event has been put together that's not specifically about stepping. Now, we're going to allow them to showcase their physical talent as well, but the purpose of this is to educate the community on what the D9 is actually about, right? And so the Pan-Atlantic Council with their tenets, the Divine Nine with their tenets and concepts, we are all here to build the community. And you're going to have an opportunity to hear from each and every organization to talk about their organization's history, their chapter's history, what they're doing in the Grand Prairie and surrounding communities, any youth organizations that they're associated with, and anything else that they would like for the public to know about. There are certain things that go viral about Greek letter organizations, but they're not always about the business side of everything, right? We are building our community, and what we're doing is we're going to showcase this is who we are, this is what we do, this is how we can help. And so that is going to be on 2/22 at 2.
All right.
February 22nd, 2 o'clock. And so we're going to do that from 2 to 3 o'clock. We have a DJ. We're going to have all of the organizations there. It's going to be a great time. If you're interested, make sure you go to the website. And it is not a ticketed event. You can just show up.
Yeah, Mr. Rainer's dropping those numerology numbers on you. 2/22 at 2.
At 2.
Those numerology numbers. Say, I just want to put a plug in for the Grand Prairie NAACP. Dr. Angela Lucky is going to have bingo night on February 19th at the Grand Prairie Chamber of Commerce from 7 to 8:30. So that's another event that's going to be on the calendar that you can go to and participate in. The D9 event, I'm looking forward to that. I just get a little history about me. Graduating from high school, I wanted to become an Omega. I was going to college for the wrong thing. God, the Most High God said, no, you're going to the Navy.
Okay.
Because you're about to go.
That's for the best.
It turned out for the best for me. Believe me on that, because I was going to college to join the fraternity.
Yeah.
Not for the education part. I was going to have a good time. But
Yeah.
I still feel like this the Omega in me. It's the dog in me.
Oh, no.
It's the dog.
So, as a brother of Kappa Alpha Psi
I was
Fraternity
about to say, here we
Incorporated, I
go.
was just going to say, you dodged the bullet on that one. No, we joke. So,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like a
exactly.
big family, right? And so, we're all out here doing great things. Omega men are great men. All of the Divine Nine. We're all doing great things in our own environments, but we have a collective mission. And
Absolutely.
the reason why I wanted to make sure that it was all of the D9 was to show that we can do things cohesively and collectively as well, as opposed to just individually.
Amen. I appreciate that. Just
Well,
like you
since
said.
we're giving out shout outs, I'm going to go back to the HBCUs. Shout out Jackson State University, my proud alma mater. I am so excited to be a Jackson State, I love. And if you don't know anything about Jackson State, you do know about Walter Payton.
Absolutely. Sweetness.
And let's talk about Deion Sanders. We gave him his first coaching opportunity.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Yeah, we love
So
Jackson.
shout out Jackson
We
State.
love Jackson State, almost as good as Prairie View A&M University.
Oh, here we go. See, this is how we do things.
See, and just like what the voice of the DFW said, how the Divine Nine joke with each other. It's the same thing with the military. Retired Navy, I'm going to say something funny about the Air Force, the armchair service. And now we have, everybody's picking on Space Force. Like, what is that? So if you look at some TikToks, they really make fun of all services.
Yeah.
And you can tell which branch the person who made the video, because their branch is perfect.
Highlighted.
And
Yeah.
everybody
Highlighted.
else
Yeah.
is something's going on.
Absolutely.
And they're
So
funny.
quite true. Another shout out, Air Force. My husband, Jackie Adams, is an Air Force
That's
veteran.
called the armchair force of
And
the
I
military.
say that because this is a Navy guy sitting here.
Absolutely.
hilarious.
All day, every day.
This is the love and this is the excellence that we have, right? There are certain things that tie us together. No matter who you are, if you're an African American, there is something that you're associated with
Absolutely.
that will tie you to other individuals. These sets of events that we're doing this month does the same thing. It's a culmination of events that will bring us together so that we can celebrate together. We can love on each other together. That's on the 14th. That's a phenomenal Valentine's Day event
Absolutely.
to celebrate Black love. And you go to the restaurants, they're going to be packed and all these
Yes.
other things. So you might as well come out, enjoy some time with Latarius and, get some heavy hors d'oeuvres and just enjoy everything. And so that was just another point that I wanted to make. This is how we do it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
All right. We finished with
now-
weekend number 3, about to bring it on home.
So this is the culminating event. So I definitely
roll.
want to shout out Candace Reese. She is the owner of O Production, and she has been our project manager of everything that we've done this last couple of weeks. But she is producing an amazing production that will just blow your mind. And so it's called Rhythm and Roots. And it's going to be phenomenal. I don't want to say a lot about it, but we're going to be presenting our past, our present, and our future. We have, as a keynote speaker, Senator Royce West will be there. And we just have a young man that grew up in Grand Prairie. I don't want to get his name mixed up.
Yeah, he's a local artist out here, and he's kind of going to be a surprise. And so they brought him in to MC the entire event. He's going to bring another element to it that brings, some of the Gen Zers and things of that nature. And so you're going to have the
Absolutely.
entire gamut that's
We're
coming.
bridging the gap.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he's actually creating an original piece for this event.
You don't want to miss it.
Do not want to miss it.
Is that a ticketed event?
It is not.
All right.
It will be held at our Grand Prairie Convention Center. So come one, come all. And again, I want to emphasize, this is Black History Month, but it is, as you alluded to earlier, American history. So all will be invited.
Yeah.
Please come out.
And the good
and
thing,
share the celebration with us.
and I'm not sure how many people that are going to be listening have had an opportunity to come to the convention center, and so we wanted to put it there because it's large enough space and it's in a great environment around Epic Central and things of that nature, and so they really did a good job on this one.
Okay. Anything else going on?
We will have our author, Warren Landry. He will be there. He was commissioned to write a book on our history, Grand Prairie history. He will be there. You'll be able to purchase a book there to show where we started, some of the things that we're doing. And so that was commissioned by the city as well. And so he will be there. And so we have some other great prizes and great, exciting events that will be happening that day. It will be after church, so you don't have to miss church.
Amen.
So,
Amen. Because you know how we are about church.
Yes, we got to get church in.
Church,
Glory.
see, it's got to be around 2 or 3 because we got to eat after church too.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so check the website, more information to come. Everything that we talked about today will be on the website. And so, yes, so we're just excited to be able to share it on your platform.
But wait,
Yes.
there's more.
There's more?
Please remind them about the weekend activities that we have at the Uptown Theater. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So this was outside of the committee. And so the city had already brought in Uptown Theater. We're going to have Motown Review, My Girls. So it's going to be featuring the girl groups of Motown, probably the groups that made Motown.
Oh, my
to be
goodness.
Oh, okay.
But
All right, Smokey Robinson.
we don't know that. But anyway, so it's going to be the girl groups. So check that out. Grab a ticket. It's very inexpensive. Great opportunity to come to downtown Grand Prairie to our Uptown Theater. And then at the end of the month, we will have a tribute to Duke Ellington.
Yeah, I'm
So
looking forward to that.
that is some amazing things that are happening in our city. Also, we have at Texas Trust Theater, The Temptations and the Four Tops.
On Sunday,
So you
February
don't
2nd.
want to miss that. That is coming up this weekend, yes. And then later on, I think on the 14th, Kim and Lettucey will be
Yes.
at the
On the
theater
14th,
as well.
I think it's on the 14th, yeah.
Yeah. But don't go there. Go to our Latarius.
That's right.
Whitfield.
That's right.
No, it's plenty. It's so much to offer that you
Absolutely.
have choices.
Yeah, definitely have choices. And we also have cinema.
Oh,
But wait,
come on.
there's
But
more.
wait,
Look,
there's more.
So every weekend, yeah, go ahead.
No, you go.
I'm
like
not
that.
familiar. They went through a list of films. I'm not familiar with the films, but I do know that we are going to have black cinema films that are going to be highlighted at the end of on every Saturday. Every Saturday of
4
the
to
month.
6.
And I'm not sure if you remember the list of movies.
No,
it hadn't been
because
finalized?
it was a
Okay.
plethora
Okay,
of black
okay,
movies
okay.
that we wanted to show. Now, this is going to be
But
at
they are on the
theater.
website. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is going to be at the theater at the Summit. And so it was so many great movies, we had to condense it into 4.
Okay.
And so I don't remember the final cut as well, but it will be on the website. And it is free to the public. You do not have to be a member of the Summit to attend this Black Film Festival.
Okay.
And so it's every Saturday in the month of February from 4 to 6.
Okay. I just want to say this before we get out of here. The 6888 is a movie that I think we all need to see.
Absolutely
That's
amazing.
another part of history we didn't know anything about. I'm going to start throwing another plug. The Golden 13, the first 13 black naval officers. We need to have a movie about that. And I like to play the Admiral.
You want me to call Tyler and let him know?
We need
Okay.
to do the Golden 13 because that's
do
a
it.
story within itself. Before we close, any closing words, Councilwoman?
I just want to say, being an African American woman, that's the lens that I've seen the world. And so, good, bad, indifferent, I just want to share the experience. We've had some very positive struggles, some very positive successes, and I just want everyone to be educated. You know, whether you are black, white, green, purple, it doesn't matter. Come out and celebrate Black history with us.
All right.
At the end of the day, we are bringing the opportunities. But the
Correct.
opportunities do no good if they are not attended.
Absolutely.
We're here for you. Come see what we're all about.
Absolutely.
Well, I'd like to appreciate you guys for the work you put in a short period of time. And that needs to be emphasized. In a short period of time, you guys put on amazing programs for everyone in the city to come out and celebrate and to enjoy. So with that being said, thank you for once again for attending and watching On the Square with Councilmember Kurt Johnson.